And we're back. All right. We just ended a stream, but there's some breaking news. But first, we got to tell everybody about this. Give me a second. We'll give people a second to get in here because we always said we would go live when there's breaking news for the Forrest Fenn hunt or JCB hunt or any hunt, really. And this is, in fact, breaking news in the Forrest Fenn hunt.
Yeah. So as Mike's doing that, I'm going to say there's a couple of things that Forrest Fenn people we have said for 5 years now is really confusing because of mixed messaging from Forrest, Dale versus what the family has said versus what we have actually been able to see and confirm. And it's been confusing. Who do you believe? And Forrest isn't with us, so we're not sure what we believe. So like 9 Mile Hole, we would love to see the video. There's a lot of confusingness when it comes to that. Dale said he was told by Forrest, you'll know the finder by knowing and seeing and reading this poem. There's a second poem that he put in the treasure chest, and Jack said one wasn't in there, so it's always been confusing. And the olive jar, Ben was told by the family, do not buy it. There's nothing in there except for something we already have, which is the bio.
Hey, Ben.
Yeah, well, stop. It's not any. So
that's the family. That's on the family, not Ben.
We've believed, that's not on Ben. That's on the family.
Right.
We have always believed Forrest and what he told Dale. We've always believed Dale. We've always believed the searchers and what we hear, but it's been very confusing. So there's been a couple lingering, really big questions. And one of them is, where is this? Was there anything more in the olive jar? Because Cynthia was told by other family members, no, nothing's in the olive jar except for this book that we're willing to take legal action if anybody puts out. That's all that's in it. There's nothing big. Do not bid on it. It's a nothing burger. Well, we now know a little different. So are you teed up enough, Mike? Are we ready to go?
Yeah, let me find it.
Okay, so we know, so I'll tee it up a little bit more. We know that John initially was going to put out he purchased the olive jar from Heritage. We know that Jack didn't open the olive jar. Justin didn't open the olive jar because Justin was also told by the family there's nothing in it. He said the reason he didn't buy it is because he was told by Zoe that there was nothing in it. Ben didn't buy it because Shiloh told him there was nothing in it. We knew from Dale. Dale said, yeah, there's a second poem, so I wonder where it could be. Maybe it's in the olive jar. Well, John opened the olive jar. He read it, and he put the olive jar back in his treasure hunt. Well, no.
Here we go. You ready?
Yeah. Now I'm ready. Go ahead.
If I could get it right. Hang on. And I'll show you where this is from and all that.
Yeah, so there is a podcast that is putting okay. Mike's in charge.
All right, let's play it again. Let me share this. So this is the American.
Yeah, we didn't hear any of that. So if you could share it the first time, that'd be great.
All right. Go to Google. Hang on. So, all right, hang on. Honey.
Yeah, Mike thought he just shared it. He shushed me for all of us to be in silence. Okay, he just shushed me again, guys.
All right. So this is the American Treasure podcast. This is JCB's friend who's doing this podcast, and he just put up the teaser of all teasers, which I'm assuming is for episode 3. If you go here, episode 3 is not out yet, but if you go here and click on his icon, you get his story. Oh, son of a bitch. All right, hang on. Apparently, I'm not logged in, so hang on a minute. I don't even know what my login is. Ooh. I wonder why that won't play. All right, give me a minute. I got to look it up now. I don't know what my login is. It's been a long time. But who first talked about a second poem? Tell them about that, K-Pro.
I just did. I'm allowed to talk now? Great. Okay. So, yeah, you have a cat being inappropriate in the background. Okay. So, second poem. Forrest has told Dale there's a second poem in the treasure chest. I won't even say who else has said things that are erroneous. Dale said, and Dale, I don't believe has lied about it. And so now you're going to hear from John in John's voice that the second poem is in the olive jar, and he's put it as a part of Treasure Inside. So, but we want to hear it directly from John. John said that he read something that was rather interesting, and he said that in, I think it was the second podcast from D-Money, but now we are actually going to hear John say the second poem that Dale said all along. That's why vindication is nice, and it's not anyone's fault. You get to pick which side you believe, and now we just know who to believe. Forrest said, searchers are all I have left. He told Dale. He didn't tell others. He believed it. Now we get to believe Dale. So yeah, this is huge news for the Forrest Fenn community. This is one of the huge lingering questions, and this has now been resolved. If you believe John, there's no reason for John to lie or Dale to lie. And so let's hear it in John's voice. Let's go ahead.
Okay. American Treasure Podcast on Instagram. Here we go.
Oh boy, what should I share? Well, there's a some questions as to whether or not there was a poem in the autobiography, and there was.
That's it. But here's the deal. It wasn't just that Dale said it. Dale played the audio of Forrest Fenn saying, just tell me what the second poem is, right? It's on audio. Forrest, when talking about how will you know if it's been retrieved, Forrest Fenn says, just tell me the second poem. And everybody said, oh, that means this. It means nobody thought there was a poem. And we asked Jack, I think we asked Jack, or no, we asked Justin, was there a second poem in the chest? And he said, not that I know of. Jack never said. And we thought maybe it was under the wood, right? In the wood. Well, now we know from JCB, who opened the olive jar, the autobiography was in the olive jar. The poem is in the autobiography. Go.
And not only that, this is a poem that Forrest wrote. And Dale said to him, now this is all coming back because it's literally years ago. Dale said, well, tell me what the poem is. How would I know that you wrote it? And he said, when you hear it, you'll know I wrote it. And we thought it was the Bugle Plays. We thought it was something. Some people said there's not a second one, or the poem is just TTOTC's As I've Gone Alone in there. It could be any of that, but it's in the olive jar. We need the olive jar. I can't believe people were told not to bid and there was nothing and there's a nothing. This is for the Forrest Fenn community. I know those of you that are just a part of TTI, can you imagine for 10 years searching, up to 10 years searching for the treasure chest, having this anomaly of the second poem is what the one that's going to validate the searcher or the finder. And then Forrest passes away. We never know. And Dale always said, well, it's a possibility it's in the olive jar, but then we get conflicting information because no, it's not in the olive jar. Don't bid on it. It's nothing. And now we know it is in the olive jar. It's pretty big, pretty big.
Just like the audio said, just like Dale said, I mean, everybody just disagrees so quickly. When you don't know, you know who knows? Forrest knows. And there's audio, Forrest Fenn saying, just tell me what the second poem is. And Dale says, but if you're gone, how will we know it's from you? And Forrest says, you'll know. And I think he meant all searchers, not just Dale, but he says, Forrest says, you'll know. Go ahead.
Well, so Billy Shaw says it cut off so quickly. Yes, because what I believe, this is a teaser for D-Money's third episode. So you guys got to get on Instagram. You got to get on Spotify. You got to get lots of social medias because it was actually posted this morning by D-Money. No one noticed until someone told someone who told me, and now we're getting it out there. So this is where we're in information overload. So these D-Money is bringing it. So you guys should subscribe to him. He's the new Dale for the JCB hunt. He is bringing information directly from John Collins Black. We hear it from John Collins Black, not summarized and by someone else. We're hearing it in John's voice, which is awesome.
Coy says we still want to do the Pokemon box on Monday. We should have did the Forrest Fenn box. I tried to tell you guys, but anyway, that's fine. Okay, so here's the deal, everybody. American Treasure Podcast. Go subscribe on. He has an Instagram. and his podcast is on Spotify. I put the link in the chat. You can go listen to his first 2 episodes. He has Sasha Dent talking about the thrill of the chase in episode 1. Now, remember, his podcast is about JCB. He has JCB talking about the 10 rules of his treasure hunt in episode 2. And then now it sounds like this is a teaser for episode 3 that is not out yet. I'm going to play it one more time. Check it out.
There is, oh boy, what should I share? Well, there's a some questions as to whether or not there was a poem in the autobiography, and there was.
And yes, it cuts off because we think it's a teaser. I just love how he says poem. I don't know.
He says it like House Husband Diaries, poem.
Right.
He is saying there is some question to if there is one in there. Well, we already have 2.0, so he's not talking about anything in 2.0. And the question has always been, is the one that Dale, and we hear Forrest saying, that's how you're going to validate it. I wrote a second poem. This, to me, validates it. You guys can pick apart words and say it's not that, and this doesn't mean whatever. In my mind, and I'm so looking forward to episode 3. D-Money, you just brought it. Thank you, sir. John, you just brought it. Thank you, sir.
I've got breaking news. This is from our interview, which we put on Instagram, but this is when I asked him about the olive jar and our interview that we did with JCB. Let's just see what he says real quick. Now, he says I can't say it, but he laughs, and that laugh sure means there's something there. Check it out. All right. So I've been doing videos on YouTube for 8 years, and the primary topic was Forrest Fenn. That's the community that watches. So we wanted to ask a couple questions about Forrest Fenn's olive jar. There's a lot of conspiracy theories of what might be in it, from DB Cooper to JFK assassination and a bunch of other crazy theories. Yeah. We were just wondering, can you give any indication of what it is that surprised you?
No, I can't.
That's fair. That's fair.
So that's what he says. But I mean, the way he laughs, there obviously is something. He just doesn't want to tell us what it is. So I just think it's interesting. Now, his buddy, what I want to know is, when did he tell Dave, who does the podcast? Is this old? Is this from years ago, or is this recently? I might even email Dave and ask him. So there is the link to our interview if you want to watch it. We go over some other Forrest Fenn questions. But
okay, there's 2 questions that I'm seeing in chat. What is the significance of a second poem to a treasure hunt that's already found? So Forrest told Dale, his closest confidant in the search community, the way that you will validate if someone actually found the chest after I die is for him to read you a second poem that I wrote. If he doesn't have that, he's not the real finder. Basically, I'm summarizing. Well, when Forrest passed and Jack's name was outed, Forrest didn't want his name outed. The family had to, due to a court order, out his name. Then Dale went to Jack and said, okay, is there a second poem? And Jack said no. Now, if you go back, Dale was told by Forrest that's how you validate the real finder. So that always left some ambiguity on whether Jack was or wasn't. Now, Ryan Bavetta says, but there were 5 poems in the Forrest Fenn binder autobiography, so ... Right, and I would think that John already knows about those because we all have those. The big questions that of a poem, that the only question left is the one that Dale was talking about, not the ones that are already in the autobiography 2.0 that we all had. Okay, go ahead, Mike.
Carl's got a good point. She says JCB didn't want to tell you in your interview because he wanted his friend to break the news. He had already told D-Money, and that's awesome. So we definitely need to know when episode 3 is going to drop. I'm going to listen to it as soon as it does. So that's very interesting. It just validates what Dale said. If the family said there's nothing in the olive jar, maybe they didn't know. That means also the family might not know what else is in the olive jar. Who knows? We don't know what we don't know. Nobody has opened that olive jar but Forrest Fenn before he sealed it, and John Collins Black, who opened it, read it, said he was surprised by what he read, sealed it back up, put it in his box. That Forrest Fenn box is somewhere in the U.S. waiting for somebody to find it. And now he says there is a poem in the autobiography.
I'm going to disagree just a little bit. He didn't necessarily say it's in the box, but you would get, I think it's part of, it might be the incentive.
Right. You know what? We need to reread the Forrest Fenn chapter to see it. Does he say it's in the box or not? Yes, yes, that is true. It's a technicality, but it's true. Yeah, so there we go. So now it just shows that what Forrest said. Read me the second poem. It's real easy. You want to prove you have the box? Read me the second poem. JCB says there is a poem in the autobiography. Why didn't Jack know about it? Because he didn't open the olive jar. Why would Jack not? I guess Jack wanted to sell it, so he didn't care.
Well, let me even more so. Even though I appreciate Justin trusting the family, but the family wasn't really involved, and there was this alternative ending meeting and all that. Why would Justin trust anyone? Why wouldn't he just open that? Why didn't he open the olive? I could see Jack just wanting to monetize. Justin had an emotional connection to all of this. I can't believe I can't believe both Justin and Jack left something on the table that they didn't know or didn't believe due to, I mean, maybe trusting someone that you shouldn't have, for not even for intentional reasons. I personally don't think the family's like, yeah, let's screw Justin. I just think they didn't know, like you said, but why would Justin trust it? It's just fascinating how this is all kind of getting a little bow on it and ending the Forrest Fenn hunt. So it does validate that there was a second chest. Dale wasn't this crazy liar, and Forrest wasn't this crazy liar. It was there. Now we got to know what that poem is.
Somebody's got to find this Forrest Fenn box. Somebody says, where's the olive jar now? So Thomas Barkhurst, the olive jar has been rehidden as part of a different treasure hunt. Go to treasureinside.com and you can read all about this treasure hunt, and the Forrest Fenn chapter in that book gives you another poem that will tell you where this box is. And we believe you will get the olive jar from, if you find that Forrest Fenn box, you will get the olive jar. Where can I find info on this? Sounds interesting. Some people don't know the Forrest Fenn story. There's a lot of new people. So Netflix, we believe, is coming out in a couple months. You can find all about the story there. I don't know if you want to give the website that has that solution or anything for people that are just like, what is this all about? Okay, bro. We've done many shows on it, so I don't even know where you would start with our YouTube shows. But just look up Forrest Fenn, The Thrill of the Chase, and you'll get the gist from the articles of what happened. So there it is. It is, in fact, breaking news, everybody.
And you know what? It is actually a good point that Billy Shaw makes. We just have this little clip. Maybe the end of that sentence is, and it was a poem that was already in something. This is just a great teaser. And right. We always got in trouble for teasers and exclamation marks. Maybe D-Money, maybe this little clip means something very different. And maybe this is premature. But right now, I agree with you. It does sound pretty promising that at least we have an answer to the worst ending to the greatest treasure hunt. We do get maybe a little bit more of the answers that we have desperately wanted for years and years and years.
We can't guess. Jim Abo says, do you think the poem leads to anything or just a poem? Well, we don't know. We don't know what we don't know. We can guess. It leads to a jar. It leads to a bell. It leads to another treasure chest, whatever. But we have no idea. So until JCB wants to say it, or until somebody finds the Forrest Fenn box in JCB's hunt, we won't know. But this is just vindication that there is a poem in the autobiography. So there you go. We heard it from JCB, the man who opened it. And Jens, where are you at? If you filmed him opening it, what are you doing? Anyway, you owe it to the community, Jens, to at least release that clip, in my opinion. You owe it to the community, Jens, to release that clip. And I know JCB's not reading it, but still, just to see him open it, to see his eyes when he reads it, I think that would be telling, in my opinion. Okay, we always said we go live. There it is, breaking news. I hope because he put that up, maybe that means episode 3 will drop tomorrow. We'll just have to wait and see. Anything else, K-Pro?
No, I think it's pretty cool. And yeah, that's why we wanted to come back on. This is for the Forrest Fenn people. We said that breaking news, we would come on, just like if anything other major from the Forrest Fenn hunt, even though it was 5 years ago, like someone said, why are you talking about a hunt that ended 5 years ago? You'll see, because if there's any controversy at the end of the TTI, we may hang on for years and wait for answers, but we just got a big piece, or at least a teaser to a big piece. But it's pretty cool. So thank you, D-Money. And those of you that want more information and saying, K-Pro Cowlazars, can you ask JCB? No, you got to go message D-Money. He is asked. He still has access to John. Ask D-Money. D-Money's the guy, guys. He's the new Dale. Go to him. He will get you info, and maybe he'll get us extra info. This is pretty awesome.
Somebody said episode 3. So there's a podcast called American Treasure Podcast on Spotify. JCB's close friend is releasing podcast episodes. 2 are out. First one is about the Forrest Fenn hunt. Second one is about JCB and the rules he had for his hunt. And now he's dropped a clip that JCB has verified that there is a poem in the autobiography, which is in the olive jar. So go listen to him and subscribe, and we'll all talk about episode 3 when it comes out. Maybe there'll be more information. Maybe there won't be. We'll see. So, okay. Thanks, everybody. That is the breaking news. We thought it was interesting. We thought that's why we go live. A lot of people are like, what podcast? It's just like the information doesn't get out there to everybody. So subscribe and tune in, because we will always go live when there's breaking news for any of the rides in the old amusement park. All right. Is that it, K-Pro?
Yep, that's it. Thanks, guys. We'll keep it short and sweet. We'll let you know up on Discord in the Forrest Fenn area. It's been pretty dead for a while. That's the place to go discuss this. This is pretty huge. And again, thank you, D-Money. Thank you, JCB.
And just so you guys know, D-Money is Dave's nickname in Discord. He is in our Discord channel, Cowlazars Grand Adventure on Discord. Link is down below. Shoot him a message on Discord. I don't know if he'll answer or not, but his name is Dave, but he goes by D-Money on Discord. So you might be wondering who that is.
Yeah, and he's been really open in his podcast. Like, I want to hear from you guys. And he communicates with us on Discord. So he's been pretty open. I think he might regret that later of like, here's my email me. Like he seems like an honest, open book right now. We'll wear him down and as a community and tell him how terrible he is one day. But right now, let's celebrate him and how great he is, guys. And I was kidding. That was sarcasm. But some people just, they're bringing it. Thank you, D-Money.
And he will come on our show. We've already talked to you about coming on the show. We just got to work out the time. So we're definitely going to grill him on the Forrest Fenn stuff. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you share, comment, subscribe, and like, and we'll see you next time.